I'm fine, apart from changing my name on Deed Poll to Dane, but there you go.
That was brilliant.
What a fanny. Okay.
Right, we're banging into this now. And...
Aye, bang away, mate.
I don't know what that was.
I've got no idea. And Andrei Kanchelskis with a fantastic cross to Gabriel. Oh, excuse you.
Excuse me.
Right, we'll say that again. Do you want to just get fired straight in then, just in case? And
Dave, we're both married, come on.
So the chance I get these days, mate. Aye, I'll come to you as well, so it will.
Right. Oh, you're still there?
You even fucking say anything.
No, because something popped up there. And
no,
in that way, right?
Wait, you watching in the background?
I've got the channels on.
The channels.
The channels.
The channels.
You go and do the phones, go and do the internet, go and do the channels.
I've got no idea what that was. Is that your Arnold Schwarzenegger again, aye?
Put the cookie down.
It's been a while. Right,
I don't think you ever said that. I can try
Did
that.
you know?
It's been a while. I don't know. That didn't sound like anything.
Aye, I can see the impersonations are getting better, mate.
Yep.
Not.
And the stadium erupts in red, white and blue. You've never seen anything like it.
Let's go.
Manchester, brace yourself. Rangers are coming!
Hi everyone, and welcome to the next episode of the Are You Ready podcast. As ever, I'm your host Derek, and with me is my co-host Dave.
Good evening, mate. How are you?
I'm choked with the cold tonight.
Oh, nightmare. You're going to be snorting and sniffling all the way through the pod?
Yep, it makes a change from farting and peeing, so...
That's true, and that's just me.
Yeah, well, exactly, aye.
Exactly, yes.
So I'll try my best not to sniffle too much and blow my nose through it and do mad noises, but...
Okay.
We'll see how we get on.
Alright, when you go.
So a few things to cover, a few bits and pieces with comings and goings in the transfer market. More goings this time actually. 4 games to cover, the 2 games against Maribor, 1 against St Mirren and 1 against Kilmarnock. And then Dave's got his classic match section, which we never bothered putting a poll out because quite honestly I couldn't have been bothered this time. So,
fair enough.
But you'll get that in your ears anyway. And we've also got a few bits and pieces of news to cover, so we'll rattle on and we'll go down the tunnel and onto the pitch. So, as I said, a few bits and pieces in the transfer market. The Kyle Lafferty saga is still rumbling on from the last episode, isn't it?
It is, Derek, and we keep hearing snippets here and there. The latest one I've seen is that they're in advanced talks this evening. I also read this evening that we went in with a higher bid for him as well. And then I'm also got a text message from somebody that I know is a big jambo that was hearing on the grapevine that the deal's off. So, Derek, I am completely in the dark with this one. I don't know if you saw anything to the contrary, but I honestly don't know what's happening. I think he kind of said in his last press conference when Stephen Gerrard was questioned about Lafferty, you could see that he was basically saying, yeah, he wants him, they rates him very highly, and I think we all thought after that was the deal done, but we're still waiting. Yeah,
well, certainly he gave his shirt to the crowd at the end of the Hearts game and at the weekend there, didn't he? So you would have kind of thought that was a sign. Certainly I've heard that he's getting a medical, or there's medicals discussed and all that kind of thing, so we'll just need to wait and see. It's certainly, he wouldn't be a marquee signing, but he would certainly be a very good squad player, I think. And I think the depth is what we're needing up front now, because obviously we've just got really Morelos being the recognised striker, and if he gets injured, then, or he starts to have a dip in form, then we're goosed, aren't we? So
it's not even that, Derek. That's us at this very early part of the season in 3 competitions just now, and I think you could tell that the managers, we've got big games in Europe as well as, the League Cup as well as the league, so it's good to get a wee sort of freshen up now and again, give a few players a rest, and as you say, anything happens to Morelos, we're snookered.
So we'll wait and see on that one.
Oh, excuse me, sorry.
It was meant to be me that was sneezing and coughing and spotting.
I know.
It's really only been a few rumours here and there about random players, and I'm not really going to get into it. The only one of note to me was the rumour of Ross McCormack.
Oh, I know.
Maybe. I would say, given these attitude problems down south, I would say it's a no for me. I wouldn't want him. I always questioned why we let him go in the first place. I think he went to Motherwell, didn't he, from us, and I always rated him as a player. But certainly after all his troubles down south, I wouldn't entertain that, would you?
No, I think maybe 3 or 4 years ago, Derek, maybe. But as you say, he's had a lot of bother. He's not had a lot of game time. He actually went and played in Australia for a wee while there. Aye, just a bit of a strange one. And, we are on the up at the moment, aren't we? And I think we've got great team unity just now as well. I don't think we should be bringing in anyone that's got a bit of a reputation for being a troublemaker, if you know what I mean. So, no, I don't think that's a goer, Derek. I think that's a few sort of people on Twitter that have been putting these things out there, and wait to see he'll sign tomorrow morning or something like that, because I'm saying that. But no, I can't see that one being a goer at all, to be honest with you.
No. Right, quite a few outgoings here. Declan John has signed for Swansea on a 3-year deal for an undisclosed fee. Wish him good luck. I think he had
a decent player, Derek. I mean, but I think the fact that we've signed Barisic now, even although Declan John was a good player for us, I think we've went on. My feelings about Barisic. This guy's a world class player. So it's certainly a big upgrade. On what we had. So no, but as you say, good luck to him. He done well for us, and we hope he has a successful career.
Yep. Jamie Barjonas has joined League 2 side Bury on a 6-month loan deal.
Okay.
Miles Bierman has joined Maltese side Birkirkara on a season-long loan. Given where he's gone back to his homeland. I don't think you'll see him back, will you?
No, I don't think so. Another one that had a bit of promise, Derek, but maybe a bit too young. There was a lot of pressure put on him. There was a few sort of high-profile mistakes by him as well, and it was maybe just a bit too young and inexperienced for the occasion.
Yep. Lee Hodgson has signed a season-long loan deal with St Mirren. Basically, his contract runs out at the end of this season anyway, so they've effectively taken over his contract. So I'm not going to be too distraught seeing him going again.
No, I mean, Derek, we all know, we've all got our feelings on Lee Hodgson. No offence to the guy, he's certainly nothing near the standard of player that we're looking for. But again, hope he does well, and hope he does well when he plays Celtic and Aberdeen and these teams. But it's I don't know. There was a few people being very, very scathing about him on social media. I'm not going to be like that. We all know the standard of player that we're looking for, and he just wasn't at that standard, I'm afraid.
No. The last one, confirmed one here, is Josh Windass has signed a 3-year deal with Wigan for £2.5 million. I would hope that we've put in a sell-on clause for him, given the way that the English markets have gone as well.
Yes, exactly.
We've kind of spoke at length about Windass, where he's a player who was very frustrating. He had the potential. He did, do a lot of work. However, he's, I think both he wasn't always played in his right position, and he was just sometimes lazy as well. The one major upside though is that we don't need to deal with the absolute banger that is Dean Windass anymore.
Exactly, yes, exactly.
He even had a pop at us, once the deal had done on Twitter, calling people mongs as well. Unbelievable, isn't it?
I know, it's I think if it was me or you, Derek, would be delighted that our laddie was playing for a team like Rangers, and the same with Josh himself. I think he was his own worst enemy. We've said that time and time again, haven't we?
Yeah.
He should have just came off social media altogether, concentrated on his football, and I think he would have done a hell of a lot better at us, and certainly had a much better rapport with the fans. But again, he was a good player for us, Derek. He played very well last season for us. He scored quite a lot of goals. He certainly made a lot of goals. So that's the bit for me that we are now short up front, as you say, and he's another one that's away, that could have came in and played for us. So we just hope that we get somebody in soon, like we've already said, because we're very light up front now.
Yeah. And talking of being light up front, Morelos was subject of a £3.75 million bid from Bordeaux, basically rejected straight away. Gerrard afterwards stated it was a derisory bid, and weirdly, Gus Poyet, the Bordeaux manager, has been sacked from his position after falling out with the board and some of the players as well, I think. So I can't see them coming back in for him. Certainly, you would need to at least treble that bid before you would even entertain them, I would have said.
Yeah, definitely, especially how he's been playing so far this season, Derek.
Yep, absolutely. So, into the games now. We have the first game Thursday the 9th of August. It was a 3-1 home win against Maribor in the Europa League Qualifier Round 3 Leg 1. What a fantastic game this was, Dave, wasn't it?
It was great, especially the second half. Derek, absolutely tremendous. Probably the best that we've seen the team play for years and years. I mean, really, since we were probably back in playing in Europe before. This is it was an absolutely tremendous performance. They should all be really proud. And let's not forget this the team that we played. Was that they were a Champions League team last season, and they dug in and didn't give up, and they were just excellent. Yeah,
fantastic. So we lined up McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Katic, Flanagan, Koulibaly, Arfield, Kent, Candeas, Ajaria and Morelos. On the subs bench we had Foderingham, Halliday, McCrory, Kelly, Middleton, Sadiq and Murphy. 4th minute was a good move with Tavernier getting the ball into the box, tried to cross but off the legs of the defender, and a minute later we went 1-0 up with Morelos getting the goal. It was a lovely move from Tavernier getting the ball to Arfield, plays in Kent, a bit of good fortune. I think it's kind of sclaffed off the legs of one of the defenders, hits a shot. It was a great save by the keeper, but into the path of Morelos, who basically just had to bundle it over. I initially thought it was offside, but on looking back, no chance at all. He came from an onside position. So
yep.
I think that's the kind of chance where Morelos last year, especially towards the end of last season, he was missing just the simple tap-ins he had to do, and he was getting it wrong or he was getting offside. But great to see, and a fantastic start, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely fantastic, Derek, and we could tell the intent of the players as well at that point. They were really going for it. It was great stuff.
Yep. 13th minute was a good possession play from Maribor, ending a 20-yard fast-paced shot, forcing a good save from McGregor. He spilled it, but instantly mopped it up, and he put it out. Then got put out for a corner. 24th minute, McGregor made another great save, which rebounded out. Another shot by Maribor, but blocked by the leg of Tavernier. Back out to the Maribor attacker. He tried to cross to the free man, but it was headed out by one of their defenders. 31st minute, it was a free kick floated deep by Maribor and a glancing header. It was not far wide. 36th minute, good defending by Tavernier, putting the ball out for the corner after Maribor got the ball into the 6-yard box. 38th minute, we did actually have the ball in the back of the net, however it was ruled offside. It was a mistake by their keeper. He tried to kick it out. He played it far too short. Candeas nips right in there. Very good vision from him there. But he passed to Morelos, who put the ball in the back of the net with a simple tap in, but Morelos was offside. It was bad play from both of them, actually, I would have said. Candeas not looking up and seeing that, his attacker was in an offside position. He should have taken it on himself. It was maybe a wee bit of lack of confidence there. He did see Morelos in a good position, but again he was offside. Morelos, once again proving that he's not reading the line properly, isn't it?
It's maybe one of the few things about his game, Derek, that he really needs to brush up on. He does get caught offside a lot, but again, it's maybe a bit too over eager sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah. And unfortunately, they basically went straight up the they went straight up the field and they scored a goal. That was Maribor.
Yep.
Basically crossed on the right hand side of the box. It was a quick break. I think it was only about one or two passes. Went down the right hand side, had a great cross into the box. It bounced once, half volley into the back of the net. It was a peach of a goal, wasn't it? Certainly, if you're going to lose a goal, you kind of don't really mind that kind of goal, do you?
Yeah, no, it was a good goal. But as you say, for us, just disappointing considering that we could have, just a few minutes later, just that, as you say, we lack concentration, and we could have scored, and then for them to just do that. But that's what happens in European football, Derek, and that I think that's when we knew, how good a team this was that we were playing at that point, because they hit us on the break so quickly, didn't they?
Yep. It's fine margins like that. 1 minute you're scoring an offside goal, and the next minute you're losing a goal.
Exactly.
Yep. So a wee bit deflated going into half time. Certainly, absolutely gutted the fact that was the away goal, but as we said, second half was just an absolute joy to watch.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, it really was, Derek. When you actually think, I was buzzing at the end of it, just how well they played against a really good team. They were excellent.
Yep. Right from the kick-off, Kent went down the left-hand side, hits a fast cross on the deck, and it flicked off the boot of the Maribor defender and goes just wide out for the corner. 47th minute, short corner eventually worked into the box on the deck. Koulibaly gets the ball, turns and hits a quick shot, forcing a great save from the keeper. 48th minute, long ball down the left to Morelos. Got the ball in the box and he was brought down, and the penalty was given. I think a few folks said it was quite soft, but no, for me it was a clear stick on, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, I said so as well when I first seen it, Derek, but it was the usual suspects that were saying it was a soft penalty, wasn't it? Yeah. It certainly wasn't anybody that was actually there or was actually wanting to see us win. It certainly looked a stick on for me.
Yep. And cool as like, 49th minute, Tavernier converts the penalty to make it 2-1 to us.
Yep.
52nd minute, straight after that, Tavernier was working the play again, and it was a superb strike from about 25 yards after a good build-up play, forcing an amazing save out from the keeper, I believe. 55th minute, it was a decent claim for a penalty for us after Kent goes down in the box, but it wasn't given. Do you remember that?
I do, yes. At the time, I think after the penalty, my first reaction was, oh well, he'll not give another one straight away. But as you say, it could have been, when we look back at it. But just really pleased with the fact that we were still going for it, Derek, and we weren't sitting back and trying to defend the 2-1 lead that we had. It was just really, really good to watch.
Yep. 70th minute, lovely skill from Goldson on the halfway line, taking the ball past two defenders, took the ball forward further, hits a shot from 18 yards, but went just over the bar. 75th minute, the ball played through to Morelos. He went down in the box, claimed for a penalty, but it would have been soft. I think the player just blocked it and no more. So, as he said, it's good to get in their positions.
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
77th minute, Ajaria came off and Murphy came on. 81st minute, there was a quick break down the right. Candeas got a great low cross from the right. Kent couldn't quite get a proper touch on it. The keeper got there first and spilled, and the follow-up with our attacker couldn't quite get control of the ball. Would have been putting it in an empty net if he had just had got connected with it.
Yeah.
83rd minute, quick play up front, ending in Tavernier taking a quick dipping shot, but a comfortable save from the keeper. I did say to my dad and my mates, during the game, I'll be happy with, if we went 3-1, and on the 85th minute, we did get that goal, and it was Lassana Koulibaly. Morelos was body checked out the game on the edge of the box, and a free kick was given. Tavernier floats the ball in and cleared, but only to ourselves, out to Murphy on the left, who puts a cross in. Koulibaly jumps up, hits off his shoulder and into the back of net, and this was a shoulder that was potentially dislocated only a couple of minutes beforehand.
That's right, yeah.
Knock. So it was great getting in that position, and a fantastic all-round goal.
Yeah, it was, and he had a fantastic game as well, Derek. Let's be honest, Koulibaly, I thought he was absolutely tremendous in midfield, and you can see how much it meant to him as well. Absolutely fantastic. And just the constant pressure at that point, Derek, wasn't it? I mean, I would have seen times, I mean, I was sitting at that point when we were 2-1 saying to myself, right, even 2-1's a fantastic result against this team, even although we've lost the away goal. So I was quite happy with the fact just how well we played in the second half, but to get the third goal was just the icing on the cake, wasn't it?
Yep, absolutely. It was really made it comfortable for us in the second leg.
Yep.
87th minute, Kent and Morelos came off, McCrory and Sadiq came on, so absolutely buzzing after the game. I think you see it in my reaction pod how chuffed to bits I am about that. It was fantastic performance, and especially in the second half, and a fantastic result, and as I said, made us comfortable for the second leg.
Yeah, great stuff, and as you say, it did take the pressure off us, a wee bit going into the next game. We knew it was going to be tough, but just with the fact that how well we played, we knew we had the beating of this team, and we knew we could at least get a draw. That was my feeling anyway. So no, absolutely delighted, Derek, and like I said, about the best that we've played for years and years against a top team. Absolutely brilliant.
Yep. Just wait till we get onto the second game then. So the next game I've got to cover is Sunday the 12th of August. It was a 2-0 home win against St Mirren. We lined up McGregor, Flanagan, Goldson, Katic, Barisic, Koulibaly, McCrory, Kent, Murphy, Ejaria, Morelos. On the subs bench we had Fotheringham, Tavernier, Halliday, Hodgson, Middleton, Candeas and Sadiq. Before the game, obviously given the fact that it was our first game at home of the season, there was a big card display put on by, I think it was the Union Bears, on 3 stands. It basically said our city, our club in the Copeland and Broomland, and in the Sandy Jardin it was the RFC badge, and I think it was Glasgow landmarks as well. It was quite hard to make out, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's fair play to the guys that put the display on. It's certainly a bit of a spectacle when you see it, but certainly behind the goals, it looked really smart, Derek.
Yeah, absolutely. On the second minute, the ball to Barisic on the left. I got the cross away despite being under pressure. Third minute, brilliant chest down in the box by Morelos, turns and shoots, and it went just wide. I thought it was in initially. In the 6th minute, the ball from McCrory to Barisic, then to Morelos, plays it to the right of the box to Kent, who has a shot, and it was a decent save from the keeper. And on the 13th minute, Morelos gets another goal to put us 1-0 up. It was Morelos pressured defender, Murphy nipped in to get the ball before the defender, got the ball to Morelos, who was in the box, took the ball forward and had a shot and passed the keeper. Fantastic goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good. Well spotted by Murphy. You could see he just spotted that the defender didn't have the ball under control. He just sort of leaned in and stabbed it forward to Morelos. Good vision, and Morelos just as cool as you like, Derek. That's somebody that's really high on confidence just now. You could just tell, the way that he stepped up and put it away. Really confident, great goal, and good to get an early goal as well, Derek, because I could just thought that St Mirren were just going to sit with, playing their, two banks of 4 plus an extra midfielder, just there with just one up front. I thought they were just going to try and sit and absorb as much of the pressure as possible. So to get an early goal was excellent. And again, we were looking absolutely fantastic. There was no aftershock of the game before, that we've seen many times before. When we've had a good result in Europe, you go into the game after it, and it's we don't get as a good a reaction. But they certainly at that point were really going for it, and it was great. Yep,
absolutely. And certainly it got doubly better on the next on the 23rd minute, where Goldson put us 2-0 up. It was a lovely long free kick from Barisic into the centre of the box. Goldson under pressure and gets his head to it into the back of the net. Brilliant free kick.
Yes.
Great header, wasn't it?
Fantastic header. Yep, really was.
So, really sitting in comfortable streak. St Mirren weren't really in it at all, and we kind of thought at that point it could be, quite a few goals we put in.
Exactly, here. That's what we're hoping, yeah.
And unfortunately we get a red card on the 30th minute. McCrory brought down their attacker on the edge of the box, I think it was. It was a clear goal scoring opportunity. He took the player out. He did go for the ball. I thought initially, and this is where the rule book is, very strange, I think, and some people knew this, and I wasn't one of the ones who was aware of this, but even though he went for the ball, it was because it was outside the box, it was a straight red card, because you don't give a penalty for that. Had it been in the box, literally a yard further forward, and he brought the player down, then it would have been a penalty and only a yellow card. So this is where the double jeopardy rule comes in, and they've tried to resolve it there, but I would much rather concede a penalty, which they still have to score the penalty, rather than go a man down.
And I was seeing it the other way as well, Derek, that somebody had said, oh well, he knew that the boy was going through and there was a good chance he was going to score. I just think he just has seen red at that point, Derek. It was a split second tackle that he made, and at first it didn't look, it wasn't a bad tackle, Derek, but it was quite a harsh tackle from him. Again, maybe showing his inexperience. We all rate McCrory very, very highly. I certainly do, but just a bit of a harsh decision by him there, split second, and he was off, unfortunately. But fair play to the manager, who came out straight away and said, no, I agree, it was a red card. They're certainly going by the Morelos' sending off in the Aberdeen game, where was justified. He said straight away, no, it was a red card. And I think after that, Derek, the game kind of dropped down a few paces, didn't it? Just because we were down to 10 men. Yeah,
I think it kind of had to. I mean, that was, we got a red card in the 11th minute of the last game, and now we've got a red card in the 30th minute. We had played, these two games, we had played more minutes with only 10 men than we had played with 11 men. So,
yep.
37th minute, it was a corner from Goldson, header again off the post and back into play. And then right on the stroke of half time, there was a good ball through the middle by Murphy to Morelos, in between two players, and hits a shot from 18 yards, but it was a comfortable save from the keeper. So going into half time, obviously we just wanted to kind of see out the game at this point. We didn't know how much St Mirren could affect us going down, having the extra man, but to be honest, they didn't really do anything with that extra man when they had it in the first half. So They kind of had the better of the first 15 minutes of the second half without having any clear-cut chances, but we never really had any either. 59th minute was really the first notable thing, where Morelos had a shot just wide. 61st minute, Barisic came off and Tavernier came on. I think that was surprising that Barisic started the full game. Gerrard did say that he was going to play at some point in the game, but I didn't think he would be playing in position of the captain. So obviously Tavernier came on for him. 63rd minute was a shot from 25 yards from St Mirren. Comfortable save by McGregor, but he had to take 2 attempts to gather it, but comfortable nonetheless.
Yep.
69th minute, Kent came off, Halliday came on. 70th minute, great control by Murphy to take the ball down, turned and passed to Morelos, took the ball into the box, hits a shot through the defender's legs, save for the keeper out for the corner. 75th minute was good pressure, resulting in a good shot by Ajaria in the box, making the keeper pull off a great save. Morelos came off in the 77th minute with Sadiq come on. Near the end of the game, it was 87th minute, it was great skill by Koulibaly, taking the ball forward, took on 4 players, skinned a lot of them, and then he was taken out cynically by one of the St Mirren defenders. 87th minute, he had put in a great shift already, and he's skinning players like that. Fantastic to see, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it's superb, Derek. It really was. Especially in those circumstances, where you would think they would maybe be trying to hold on to the 2-goal lead, but to see them, going out and attacking like that again, it's all positive, isn't it?
Absolutely. And right at the death, 92nd minute, it was a 25-yard shot by Sadiq, but it was a comfortable save for the keeper. So, given the circumstances, you can only be happy with the 2-0 result, can't you?
Definitely. Clean sheet as well, Derek. So, just unfortunate it happened, because just exactly like you said, just before that, we were thinking to ourselves, this could at least be 4 or 5, the way that we were playing it. It was just a pity that it stopped like that, and they basically just had to sort of see the game out after that, really. But very professional again, Derek, and it didn't really cause us too many problems, and just really, really pleased with the way the defence is playing at the moment. It's it's great to see.
Yep, absolutely. Just on a bit of a sour note, and it seems to be happening more and more often, where there's a negative story coming out about Rangers when we get a good result or on the run up to a big important game. But it came out that allegedly a 10-year-old girl was hit with a bottle in the stadium by our fans. Now, I say allegedly because nobody knows if it's happened or not. There's no evidence that the girl was uninjured allegedly. So I would like to think it didn't happen, given the fact that we were berating the Celtic fans for doing the same to our fans in the last couple of seasons, and actually injuring people. I would like to think people have got a wee bit more sense than that. But again, it's one of these things, did it or did it not happen? There was a story that came out after this game, or actually because it came out today, I think it was, or yesterday. There was a big march before the game organised by the Union Bears, going up to the stadium, flares lit off and all that kind of thing. And the Herald ran a story today that a 70th birthday party at a care home was cancelled because of this march. No reasons for it. Apparently it was the family. The care home had been asked about it, and they said it's the family that actually cancelled it. It had nothing to do with us. So
is that because they were all marching in it, Derek?
Well, quite possibly, aye. I don't think the media have actually thought that one through, but it's these type of stories that are getting published about our fans that
I know
are absolute bullshit, you know. So this is why I'm saying it's allegedly with this, because you know what, I don't believe it.
No, I know, and I would like to think, Derek, let's be honest, if that did happen and the police were involved and there was an investigation into it, then it would be all over the papers, definitely, just like what you said, because the slightest wee thing, you know, bad press that our fans can get, the media are all over it. So, you know, I think, you know, if it was the case, then it would be everywhere, and you know, we would be hearing about it all over the place. So, I'm taking it with a pinch of salt, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and if it does happen, I would like to think some of our own fans would self-police as well, because you can't you can't have the moral high ground over Celtic fans for doing the same and actually injuring people when our fans do the same. So. But again, as I said, pinch of salt with these stories. Anyway, into the next game. It was Thursday the 16th of August. It was the away leg against Maribor in the Europa League Qualifiers. Just before that game, there was obviously reports of trouble pre-game as well, where Jeff Winter, who gets about, doesn't he?
Certainly does.
Yep, he was reporting, or he was there, and he reported on a few flare-ups with the Slovenian police and some of the Maribor fans launching rockets and missiles at our fans as well, and the Slovenian police being extremely heavy-handed. I mean, given what went on during the game as well, from the Maribor fans by throwing flares and throwing missiles at our players, I tend to believe that you know, Rangers fans are fairly innocent in this one, especially from the reports that, you know, women and kids were getting ladled into by the police as well. So certainly well known that certain police forces around Europe don't have the best reputation for being you know, even-handed with things, is it?
No, and as you say, I would trust somebody. You know, Jeff Winter's quite a high-profile guy, Derek, and he's got a lot of followers on social media. And as you say, he was putting out a lot of stuff as well. So I would tend to go with what a guy like that was saying about it, and you know, quite disappointing that that's happened. But as you say, it happens all over, doesn't it? It's certainly more in certain countries than others.
Yep. So. We lined up McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Katic, Halliday, Jack, Arfield, Ejaria, Candeas, Murphy and Morelos. On the subs bench we had Foderingham, Kelly, McCrory, Kent, Hodgson, Middleton and Sadiq. Now we all knew that Maribor were going to have to try and chase the game. Yep. They needed the 2 goals. 2 goals would have seen them through without a reply from us, obviously. So we knew we were going to have to set up defensively. And what I love about Gerrard is he's noticed that we can't do what Warburton done and what I do in Football Manager, set up the same team the same way for every single opposition you come against. You need to chop and change it about, and he's came out and said that, and you know, he set up accordingly like that, and we played an outstandingly fantastic defensive game, didn't we?
Yeah, no, they really did, Derek. As you say, they had the game plan, and I think the difference for me, Derek, and I think you just kind of said what I was about to say there, is it's everything seems to be done so much more professionally now. We have a plan, we have preparations, there is homework done on the team that we're playing and who their top players are, the way that they play, and as you say, set up to deal with that. And the defence and the midfield again were fantastic, Derek. I mean, it really made it so difficult for them to do anything against us. And we still had a few chances ourselves, didn't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as I said in the reaction pod afterwards, it was Walter Smith's second spell in charge of us, European performance, but with a lot more skill, wasn't it? It was brilliant to see. We started off the first 10 minutes fairly well and matched them quite evenly. Next 15 minutes of the game, Maribor came at us a wee bit more, put our defence under a wee bit of pressure, but it was really soaked up fairly well. 32nd minute, there was a quick break, brilliant cross from Tavernier. Morelos got to the ball and put it over the bar. It was offside in any case. Again, he's no reading the line. He was playing up on front himself again this time, which was part of the plan.
Yes.
35th minute, free kick from 30 yards, forcing a brilliant diving save from McGregor out for the corner. 43rd minute, free kick whipped in by Tavernier, cleared to Arfield on the edge of the box, who tried to chip it in, but it was over the bar. And that's kind of how half-time, that was the only highlights you could really pick of it. It was a fairly evenly matched contest with our defence mopping up most of the things. Into the next half, 46th minute, Candeas, good shot, forcing a good save from the keeper. 47th minute, the ball wasn't cleared properly by Maribor. Morelos got the ball at the touchline, cut it back for our attacker to put the ball into the net. However, the ball had gone over the touchline before Morelos could cross the ball. 52nd minute, Candeas shot from distance, but it went well over the bar. 55th minute, Morelos got the ball in the Maribor half on the left, held up the ball, played an outstanding cross ball to Murphy, who was running into the box. Great first touch, but he tried to shoot and he claffs it well wide. That ball from Morelos was something special, wasn't it?
I know, fantastic. And another string to his bow, Derek. He's not just a striker that'll have a shot at any point. I think that shows the fact that he's maybe maturing more, or maybe we're doing more in training. It's maybe another part of his game that the staff have seen that he can maybe do better with. It certainly shows, and as you say, a fantastic ball in, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you said he was maturing, but certainly we'll come to a point where it's his attitude that is certainly not maturing. 63rd minute, Maribor header over the bar from a corner. 67th minute, Ajaria came off, Kent came on. 70th minute, brilliant save by McGregor after a long ball lobbed up into the far side of the box, knocked into the centre of the box from close range. Attacker got a shot off, but McGregor got his leg to it.
Yeah.
The attacker, I think, was offside, who actually controlled it, and he controlled it with his arm, but the referee never seen it. The referee was a strange one that night. I think he gave 5 yellow cards to ourselves, and there was not one of them you could have said. He
certainly was card happy for the slightest wee thing, Derek, but I don't know if he had a bit of an ego on him, the referee, and he was wanting to, one of these guys that, maybe thinks he's famous in the refereeing scene and, likes to leave his mark in the game, but certainly a lot of silly yellow cards, as you say, that didn't warrant it, did it?
No. 73rd minute was a long free kick by Maribor, comfortably into the arms of McGregor. He really didn't need to move for it. 75th minute, Murphy came off and McCrory came on. On the 78th minute, Morelos got fouled. Opposition player walked up to him shouting. Morelos rose from the ground and motioned his head towards him. Maribor player feigned being hit on the head by Morelos. He'd really done nothing. And the referee never gave a card for anyone there because they maybe knew that there was all handbags. Morelos really needs to calm himself down, because we'll go into another bit where he lost it again. What I loved though is Tavernier came right over to Morelos during the situation, basically chucked him out of the way and started having a real go at him. That was showing proper leadership and captaincy there, wasn't it?
Yep, definitely, because we've spoke about that before, Derek, that we were looking for the more experienced players to come in situations like that, so it really was good to see.
Yeah, and he lost the plot again in the 82nd minute. He kind of he was kind of fouled, I think, and he ended up going against us, and he had to be dragged away, basically pushing and arguing, and it looked as if he was having a wee tantrum as well when he was walking away to himself. And it's again something that part of his game that he really needs to screw the nut and calm himself in these situations and just walk away. Right at the death, that could have caused us a wee bit of issue. There was a penalty given to Maribor in the 90th minute, a very, very soft penalty given, conceded by Goldson. He got the ball, but he did get the player, but the player completely made the most of it, didn't he?
Yeah, I was really... I think at that point, Derek, I wasn't too concerned because we were right at the end of the game. But at the same time, Derek, we got the penalty. I had a strong feeling that they weren't going to score it. Because McGregor had been playing so well, I really had the feeling that he was going to save it, and my feelings were right because he pulled off a fantastic save.
Yeah, absolutely, it was brilliant. And as you said, we all kind of felt it that he was going to save it, and great save by his feet.
Yep.
91st minute, just after the penalty save, Goldson had a shot just wide, but what a professional, competent performance that was. Brilliant skill all round, and it was great to see into the next round.
Do you know what again was refreshing about it, Derek, was one of the substitutions that Steven Gerrard made, and it was when he actually thought to himself, with the last... you'll have the times there, but when he had brought McCrory on, just to go in there, just to be that extra player in midfield, he knew he's a defensive midfielder. He knew at that point that that team was really going for it, and it was a crucial stage in the match at that point, Derek, because that was the time that it could have gone either way, because if they'd have scored a goal, with 15-20 minutes to go, it would have put a lot of pressure under us. And it was just great to see that we've got the depth now to change it and take off an attacking type player and put on a more defensive type player, but still be able to keep that shape and everybody sticking to their the roles that they were supposed to do. It was fantastic. And I think not just the defence, Derek, the midfield as well. Our field, I thought, was outstanding. In a more defensive role, we've been seeing at Arfield more. I'll not say as an attacking player, Derek, but more as a box-to-box player. But this one, he definitely had a role to stick to, and I thought Arfield was outstanding in midfield. He snuffed out a hell of a lot. He stopped them playing. He showed great, he showed his experience, and as you say, absolutely brilliant. It was a great away performance for us, and roll on the next round. That's all I can say. It was great.
Absolutely. Roll on the next game, because that was Sunday the 19th of August. It was a 3-1 away win against Kilmarnock in the second round of the League Cup. Was always going to be a tricky game, we thought, given the fact that Killy had taken quite a few points off us last year, and we really didn't play well against them at all. And Killy with a high flying team last year.
Yep.
Eventually, anyway. We lined up Foderingham, Tavernier, Goldson, Katic, Barisic, Halliday, Ejaria, Arfield, Kent, Murphy and Morelos. Subs bench we had Anik, Sadiq, Jack, Candeas, Flanagan, McCrory and Middleton. Obviously, it was quite surprised to see McGregor was nowhere in the team at all, and it was Foderingham rather than Anik taking the first start there. Certainly McGregor, great game in the last game, man of the match performance, so good to have a rest.
And also Andy Halliday getting a spot in midfield, Derek.
Yeah, absolutely.
So again, a guy who we had all written off, thought he was going, everybody thought he was going, but it just shows you he's stayed there. He's basically came to terms that he's going to be a utility player for us, but the manager had obviously seen something in training, gave him a start in midfield, and certainly didn't let himself down.
No, absolutely not. Controversial moment on the 6th minute. Ball was cleared off the line after good work down the right hand side by us and a cutback from Barisic. However, looking again, the ball was fully over the line. Yep. Over the line, and not one of the linesmen or referees seen it. Absolutely disgraceful, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was, as you say, when you saw it, especially from the replays that you seen, you could see that the assistant referee had a clear view of where the ball was, so we were quite flabbergasted by that one.
I mean, in the Aberdeen game, first domestic game of the season, 11 minutes for them to make a fuck up. Here's another game here, it's taken them 6 minutes to make a major fuck up. We're not asking for any special dispensation or anything like that. We're asking them to do their job properly, and apparently somebody's looked into it, and it would cost £250,000 per team to get goal line technology installed in their ground. Now, that would be a one-off payment. Surely that's something that's at the very basic level. That's something that the SFA should be, giving grants to and getting money towards putting that in grounds that for people that can't afford it. Shouldn't it be?
In a perfect world, Derek, yes, but again, it's the powers that be. It's Scottish football, and there's absolutely no chance that they would pay any type of money like that, Derek, to put anything in. And I know you're saying it's for the good of the game, but there's absolutely no way that they would shell out, a couple of £1 million on something like that. No, absolutely no chance. But we would all love to see it happening, especially us with the decisions that have went against us this season. Yep,
I mean it's one of these things that it's the basics of football that they're not getting right here. So I mean, even if it meant why. Looking at if they're not going to fork out for goal line technology about putting the linesman behind goals or putting another linesman, having 4 linesmen for each side. It's something as basic as that needs to be done. I don't know how much of that would need to be sanctioned by FIFA, obviously, but it's something that they've used, and I think they still use it in the Champions League games where there's an extra linesman behind the goal, isn't there?
Yeah, that's right. Aye,
it can be done. But anyway, we never let that bother us too much. On the 11th minute, there was a free kick crossed in from the left, forced Fordingham to tip it over the bar. It was more of a cross than a shot, but Fordingham still had to be aware of it anyway, and it was a great save. 16th minute, another bit of controversy. Murphy went off injured because he caught his Sturge in the shitty artificial park, didn't he?
And it did look for him. It did look a sore one, Derek. I think we knew straight away that he was in a lot of bother, and I think it's quite a serious one as well. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's talk of him maybe being out for up to a year, which is just absolutely devastating because he was playing well. And again, it goes back to the basics of football. Why in this day and age are top flight teams allowed to have an artificial pitch? I mean, from what I've heard, that there's various degrees of quality of artificial pitch. I think somebody said Dunfermline have got a great one, and it's actually not bad. It's like playing on pretty much grass.
We've spoken about this before, Derek. I certainly know. I've been on the surface at the Falkirk Community Stadium a lot of times. My son's played on there. I've been on the pitch, and that's a good quality artificial pitch. It really does feel like you're playing on grass on that one. But the Kilmarnock pitch, I mean, I'm sure we've covered this before, Derek. It's apparently absolutely appalling. It's like one of the worst standards artificial pitch that you can get. And I always thought that the artificial pitch at Oakville View that Rangers played on a few seasons ago when we were in the second division was as bad as it got, but apparently the Kilmarnock one is even worse than that. So
it's just, even again going back to basics, if they want to have artificial grass for their main park, have at the top level, and it has to be as standard. That is the level you go in at. If you want to have your training parks at the lower standard of lower grading of artificial park, fair enough. But if you're playing your first team football there, have at least a standardised thing.
Yeah.
And what basically we're saying there is that there's a great range of qualities all over.
There is, aye.
That's not right straight away. So it's another one of these SFA things, isn't it? So.
Exactly, especially for a club like Kilmarnock, Derek. It's a big stadium by their, standards, and Kilmarnock have got quite a big support, for being one of the lower end teams, and they are an established Premier League team. So they really should be having a much better standard of pitch than what they have. and they say it's for bringing in money for the community and for the, for their training and stuff like that. But it's just, as I say, we're going over old ground here, Derek, and it's just a total nightmare that somebody like Jamie Murphy's now injured because of it, and he's going to be out for a long time because, as you say, he is one of your key players, isn't he?
Yeah. So we'll wait and see the update when that comes out. Anyway, 17th minute, Morelos was pulled down in the box. He made the most of it and not given. Had he maybe been a wee bit more cute about that, it might have been given. 20th minute, the ball was lobbed into the box. Morelos gets on the end of it, gets a shot off by a good block by the keeper. 25th minute, free kick whipped low by Burke from the left hand side for Kilmarnock, bounced just in front of Foderingham, who pulled off a fantastic save and out for the corner. That was a absolutely stunning save, actually.
Yeah, it was superb, brilliant.
Yep. And Chris Burke, what's he done to himself with his hair? My mate said he was seeing it from a distance. He actually thought it was Willow Flood.
No, it can't be, because he stayed more than 10 minutes in the club, so
right,
it can't be him.
And on the 27th minute, we went 1-0 up with Morelos getting his first of the day. It was a great move from the left across the pitch to Tavernier. Great cross in, slight deflection off the boot of the defender, but the ball came right in the centre of the box for Morelos and heads it past the keeper. See, he's scoring headers now that he's changed his haircut, hasn't he?
That's right. No, bullet header, Derek. It was great, and just even you watch the movement in Morelos as well. He timed his run absolutely perfectly. But again, this is just showing you how confident the team is playing now. It's as if, they know exactly where he's going to be, where to put the ball in, and just a great move and great play, and a great header by him. It was really, really good play and a great goal.
Yep. 32nd minute, Kelly had a corner and a header just over the bar. 34th minute, Arfield had a free kick from 25 yards that was just over the bar, and we got our second of the day on the 42nd minute with Morelos getting it again. It was a long ball up the right hand side, ball trundled into the box. Morelos held the ball up, stayed very strong despite being held and wrestled, got away from the defender, and he got a shot off into the back of net. Fantastic strong play from Morelos there. It was good to see, wasn't it, using his body well?
It was, yeah, and the Kilmarnock defender's getting a bit of stick, but I don't think Morelos is getting the credit because he's a strong laddie, isn't he? And as you say, he used his upper body so well and just kind of barged past the guy, didn't he? He turned round, he just needed one sniff again. He's so confident at the moment, Derek. He needed one sniff, and it wasn't even a raspberry a shot, Derek, but placed perfectly into that corner, wasn't it? Right underneath the goalkeeper, and it was a fantastic goal. Superb stuff, especially by him, and long may it continue. Yep,
absolutely. And into the second half, we unfortunately within 5 minutes, Kelly pulled a goal back from an OG from Barisic. All started with some great play from us, and I think every ball was getting cheered by our fans. And then the ball, certainly from looking at the thread on follow, I said it at the time as well, it was right on the touchline at the Killy end, and the ball went over the line, which it would have went out for the corner. It was right in front of the linesman. However, he said it kept in. And certainly from the replays I've seen, they not great angles, but certainly from the replays I've seen, the ball was again about a foot over the touchline, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know.
So certainly the ball started there. They played a ball, basically Kelly broke down the park, crossed in from the right, then crossed in from the left, bounced in, and Barisic stuck out a leg into the back of the net. Basically, if he never stuck out his leg, the ball was going right to the Kelly player anyway, so he was on a hiding to nothing there.
Yeah.
And in terms of the ball going out, they shouldn't have got that play, but we had more than enough opportunity to defend it in the first place.
That's right, yeah.
A bit of a poor play there, but 54th minute, there was a very, very bad clash of heads where Katic was going for the ball, jumped, and he headed right in full pelt into the head of Eamon Brophy, I think it was. It looked like a really, really sore one, and I'm amazed none of them were sparked out with that one, but both of them had to go off to get stitches, didn't they?
And he came back on looking like the mummy, because it wasn't even just his head, it was round his chin and his neck, and it looked absolutely ridiculous when he came back on. But again, fair play to the guy, hard as nails. He wasn't having that he was going off, was he? He was wanting straight back on as quickly as possible, which is absolutely brilliant to see as well. And that this guy's a top player as well, Derek, isn't he? He's slotted right in there, and really outstanding by him. And the attitude was just brilliant.
Yep, and there's something completely sexual about a Croatian player playing for us with a headband, isn't there?
Headband, exactly. I know.
On the 57th minute, it was good play through the middle. Arfield lays the ball off to Morelos, who shoots, and the keeper saves over for the bar for a corner. 63rd minute, lovely play for Morelos to dig the ball out in midfield, break down the right, good cut back, and Arfield shot on the edge of the box, forcing a fingertip save from the keeper, who knocks it out.
That'd have been a phenomenal goal if that had went in.
Knocks it onto the post and out for the corner. Resulting corner, header by Morelos into the centre of the box, forcing another save from the keeper. Very, very unlucky all round that move. And Morelos rounds out his hat-trick on the 73rd minute. Tavernier out wide, cuts it in, past to Ajaria, past to Arfield on the edge of the box, who turns, quick pass in the box to Tavernier on the right-hand side, good cross on the deck to Morelos, and who had a simple tap-in. Fantastic all-round goal, and fantastic for him to get a hat-trick out of it.
And a perfect hat-trick, Derek.
Yeah, perfect hat-trick.
Header, right foot, left foot, absolutely brilliant.
Well, it's again, as it's been said, it's a 4-goal hat-trick technically.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. 76 minute was a good dive and save by Foderingham after a free kick headed goal bound. 77th minute, Kent down the left, shoots at an angle and a save by the keeper. Kent keeps it in, knocks it back, and Ajaria shoots, forcing a save by the keeper out for the corner. Morelos comes off on the 78th minute, as well as Arfield and Sadiq and McCrory came on, and there was a comfortable save from Foderingham after a shot hit from the edge of the box on the 87th minute to round out the game. Again, brilliant all round, isn't it?
Yeah, it's superb, Derek. And again, changes made in the team, playing on that dodgy surface. It's after another big European performance, and they were outstanding, weren't they? Really good. And Morelos, he's on fire at the moment. It's great to see, and it's the first time in a long time, that the fans are, desperate for the next game to come along, isn't it? Because we don't want this to stop.
No, we are playing some absolutely stunning football just now. We're all working together as a team. They're fighting for each other, they're covering for each other, they're chasing every single ball, they're not being bullied off the ball, which was a big feature of last year. We were just brushed off the ball so easily. This is exciting stuff to see, isn't it?
It's great.
I think something special. I mean, it's obviously early days, but I think something really is special happening just now, and long may it continue.
Yeah, definitely. I think it all comes down now, Derek, to keeping the squad together, and I think he's doing it perfectly. He's, everybody's getting, game time, and he's prioritising the matches but still putting out a very, very strong team. And I think it just comes down to the winning mentality the guy's got, and it's obviously spreading into the team, and it's so refreshing, isn't it? Because we've been watching Dross for so long, to suddenly see us going out and we can say that every single player is given 100%. It's just brilliant. Yep,
that's brilliant. So obviously that put us in the draw for the quarter final, and obviously the conspiracy theory started again with Celtic fans. Jesus, and it was considered it was Chris Sutton who drawed us out the hat as well. Unbelievable, eh?
Definitely. Talking about Chris Sutton though, Derek, this is what I find absolutely incredible. I don't know if he's trying a wee bit reverse psychology or not. I don't know if you heard him and Ali McCoist talking, and he was basically trying to get Ali McCoist to say, did he think that Rangers were genuine title challengers to Celtic this season? And to be fair to Ali, he tried to play it as cool as that, and he said he was delighted with the transformation of the Rangers team, and they were certainly very strong and they were great to watch. But Chris Sutton kept at him and kept at him and kept at him. Wouldn't he say anything? And then Chris Sutton himself said that he thought that Rangers were title challengers for Celtic this season. So is that him? Is that Chris Sutton trying to play mind games again? Trying to wind a few folk up and things like that? I don't know, but the good thing for me is that even somebody like Chris Sutton can't find any negatives in our play at the moment, Derek. So it's great that even our biggest critics over the last few years are finding it hard to say anything bad about us. So again, long may it continue.
Yep. So we got drawn against Ayr United at home in the quarter-finals. So I think that's to be played in the 24th, 25th and 26th of September. So I can't argue about that draw, can we?
Brilliant. No, superb.
In terms of the table, we've played 2, won 1, drawn 1, lost 0, scored 3, conceded 1, goal difference +2, points 4. We're sitting in third position just now, joint points with Hibs, Killie and Aberdeen. Obviously early days, so the table really means not a lot. However, Hearts are on top with 6 points and Celtic are in 6th position with only 3 points. So hopefully that's a sign of things to come as well. Games to come, we have obviously the next round of the qualifiers for Europa League, which is on this Thursday coming, 23rd of August, at home to FC UFA, the Russian side.
Yes.
There was obviously rumours beforehand that they would need to forfeit due to visa issues about getting into the UK. However, it has since been rubbished by their officials, all to do with a late application to the Home Office, and really the obvious tensions between Russia and the UK just now. They've been granted these visas, and it seems to be, as usual, a exaggerated thing by the Scottish sports media.
Yeah, I think we all knew it was good. As soon as everything was getting announced, Derek, the tickets and the hospitality and all of that by the club, we all knew that it was going to go ahead. I'm not wanting to tempt fate or anything like Derek, I'm really not, and you know that anything can happen in Europe, but I don't think this team are they're certainly not of the standard of our previous opponents, and they've not been playing very well this season. So again, I just hope that continues into this game on Thursday, because I think they got quite a heavy defeat at the weekend, this team. I think it's also, I was reading that it's possibly the first time they've played in Europe, and they're quite a newish team, so I'm hoping that their sort of inexperience goes against them, and we can get quite a comfortable win at home against them before they go on a potentially long and tiresome trip to Russia. So here's hoping they do the business on Thursday and don't concede anything, so we'll wait and see.
Absolutely. Next game after that is Sunday the 26th of August, which is away to Motherwell in the Premiership. That's a 12:15 kick-off. Next game is the return leg for the UFA game, which is Thursday the 30th of August. Given the fact that it's in Russia, just note that that's a 3 p.m. our time kick-off, so I'll need to try and get a wee quick flyer from my work that day.
What date's that on, Derek? Is that a week on Thursday?
A week on Thursday, yep.
Okay.
And the next game is the big one, Sunday the 2nd of September, away to Celtic in the Premiership. That's a 12 p.m. kick-off. And as I said, my sister's wedding is the day before, and it was meant to be on that day, so I'm quite glad it got moved for that.
Selfish bastard.
So, that rounds that out, and we will now go on to the classic match now.
And then it is! The final whistle's gone! Rangers have won the European Cup Winners' Cup!
Dave, what classic match have you got for this time?
We are sticking, Derek, mainly because I've been lazy, and I did some work a few weeks ago to get us all the games for our poll that we did, and this is one of the games that I had left over, but it is an absolute cracker of a game. It took place 1999. Again, that's the season that I've kind of picked this year. Some fantastic players on show, and it was a match against Motherwell at Fir Park, and it took place on the 15th of May 1999. Now, the Rangers team on that day: Stefan Klos, Sergio Perini, Lorenzo Amoruso, Scott Wilson, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, Andre Kanchelskis, Neil McCann, Claudio Reyna, George Alberts, Rod Wallace and Gabriel Amato playing for Motherwell that day. Andy Gorham in goals, McMillan, McGowan, Brannan, Simo Valakari, Gower, Lee McCulloch, Stephen Cragen, Adams, John Spencer and Don Goodman. So this was when Motherwell, Derek, I don't know if you can remember, were spending quite a lot of money at this point. They were trying to have a successful season, and that was a lot of sort of big name players that they had on a lot of money back then. So we were certainly expecting a very good game against them, and again Andy Gorham was absolutely sensational for Motherwell in this game, but thankfully we ran out comfortable winners in the end. So the game started off as early as the 6th minute. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst with a long fantastic shot. It was saved by Andy Gorham, tipped onto his post. And then shortly after that, George Alberts with a rasping 30-yard shot and another incredible save by Andy Gorham. We really should have been 2-0 up in the first sort of 10 minutes. But then in the 16th minute, we did break the deadlock.
Now Kanchelskis. In for Amato. Gabriel Amato has it! That's 1-0. A mistake in the Motherwell defence, and it's punished by Amato. His 6th goal for Rangers. A fairly innocuous looking cross from Kanchelskis, missed completely by Steve Cragan, and that set up Amato with a chance that he simply had to take. Even Andy Gorham couldn't save Motherwell here. There was time to chest the ball down and then place the ball wide of the keeper.
Andrei Kanchelskis with a cross to Gabriel Amato, who chested it down and battered a right foot shot low past Andy Gorham to make it 1-0 to Rangers. Not long after that, Andrei Kanchelskis picks up the ball on the right hand side, runs a one-on-one with the Andy Gorham. Unfortunately shoots wide. He really should have done better there, but a great run again by Kanchelskis, showing his speed. And then just before half time, and actually in the 37th minute, Rangers go 2-0 up.
McCann, delicate ball into Van Bronckhorst and Wallace, and Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. That's brilliant. A memorable Rangers goal with 7 minutes to go to half time. It was a quick break, and lovely ball from McCann, and knocked back by Wallace to Van Bronckhorst. And Andy Gorham was a spectator here as the shot flew into the top corner.
Giovanni Van Bronckhorst with a fantastic 1-2 with Rod Wallace at the edge of the box, and a tremendous volley past Andy Gorham to make it 2-0. There's no way he could have saved it. Absolutely sensational goal. And that was half time, 2-0 to Rangers. Into the second half, Motherwell are applying the pressure in the 51st minute, but a great clearance by Lorenzo Amoruso, who then played it to Giovanni Van Bronckhorst on his own byline.
Amato, it's 1 against 3, still it's Amato, Gabriel Amato! That's his second! As Motherwell miss a chance at one end, Rangers take one at the other. The odds were stacked against Amato here. 1 against 3, but always with great control of the ball, tempting and teasing, and ultimately nobody could get to him. Through the legs of Steve Cragan, and then he waltzed it round Andy Gorham. 6 minutes into the second half, and it's 3-0.
He looked up and fired a huge long ball onto Rod Wallace on the halfway line. He headed it to Amato, who then ran with 3 players round about him into the box, turns and rounds Andy Gorham and slots it into the net to make it 3-0. A fantastic counter-attack play by Rangers. Great goal by Amato. Great skill and great control. Fantastic goal to make it 3-0. That really did take the wind out of Motherwell's sails at that point, because they were putting the pressure on us. And then on the 54th minute,
Ramsey chasing McCann, in for Wallace, got a touch and was fouled, and penalty kick. It was a clever touch from Wallace. It got the better of Jamie McGowan. McGowan was committed to the challenge. Down went Wallace, and penalty kick.
Rod Wallace brought down in the box, clear penalty to Rangers.
George Alberts, who would normally take the penalty kick duties, leaves it to Gabriel Amato and sets him up with a chance for a hat-trick. It's 3 for Amato, it's 4 for Rangers.
Alberts actually gives the ball to Gabriel Amato to get his hat-trick, which was fantastic, well done. To George Alberts at that point, and Amato, cool as you like, right down the middle, fires it into the net to make it 4-0 and score his hat-trick of the game. A few half chances for Motherwell after that, including a header by Lee McCulloch over the bar. Then another fantastic save by Andy Gorham from a George Alberts long-range shot not long after that. And then on the 65th minute, Rangers go 5-0 up.
Amato. McMillan's lost it, it's Kanchelskis, and it's 5. Well, unlucky you would have to say for Steve McMillan. Not much is going right for Motherwell. He hangs his head. Amato played the pass, which shouldn't really have been too much of a problem. He lost the ball under his feet, and that queued up Andrei Kanchelskis to score his 9th goal of the season.
A total mix-up in the Motherwell defence. Andrei Kanchelskis robs the ball off the defender and shoots low past Andy Gorham to make it 5-0 to Rangers. Fantastic stuff. Motherwell pulled the goal back with a deflection on the 74th minute.
Back for Stephen Nicholas, deflected, and Motherwell pull the goal back. There might be some competition in terms of claiming this. Fired it in off the hands of Lee McCulloch, and Kloss was wrong-footed.
And then Jonathan Johansson, who'd came on a short time before that, he pulled off another incredible save by Andy Gorham. And then another chance by Jonathan Johansson, who has another great shot just past the post. So it could have been a lot more, but the game ran out. Rangers winning 5-0. 5-1 I should say. Another chance to see the likes of Gabriel Amato, who at that point in his Rangers career really did look as if we'd found somebody special, but unfortunately it didn't work out for him. But some great goals, some great players, like I said, and even going to watch Andy Gorham as well, even although he wasn't playing for us, making some absolutely sensational saves. What did you think of that game, Derek? Can you remember much about it?
Yeah, fantastic performance all round. That's when we were really playing some outstanding stuff through with Advocaat, wasn't it? So
yeah,
and plus as well, you said there was a deflection for Motherwell's goal. It hit off the hand of Lee McCulloch. So
yes,
I mean they were still getting decisions against us even back then. So.
Again, Derek, it's maybe, I'm hoping it's a mirror image, but going by that season that Dick Advocaat had, and don't get me wrong, Derek, we know that he had a hell of a lot of money to spend, Dick Advocaat, but I can't help but get the feeling that I've got at the moment with the Rangers team, that first game at Aberdeen this season when we drew 1-1, where we were absolutely fantastic, very similar to Advocaat's first game in charge when we got beat by Hearts, but we were absolutely sensational, and we just knew at that point that we were going to go on to be successful. And I get a feeling this season that it's going to be the same. I really hope I'm right, but anyway, but back to that game, if you get the chance to go and watch it, it really was, there's some fantastic goals in there and some class players to go and show. So if you get the chance, go back and have a wee watch.
Yep, absolutely fantastic result and another great game. So
yep,
we'll have another classic match the next episode.
Certainly, yep.
So it's time for the news. Right, only a few bits and pieces to go over here in the news this time. A general meeting has been called for August the 31st to approve a share issue. This was on the back of Resolution 10 and 11 from the AGM in December. It's basically going to raise about £12 million. It'll be to raise capital, convert loans to shares, and also it will have the knock-on effect of diluting existing shareholdings. This has a direct effect on the Takeover Appeal Board ruling around Dave King due to this. Obviously, with the shares getting diluted, I'm not fully clued up on it. I'm not even going to claim I am. However, that he was set to have another contempt of court hearing. I think it was at the end of last week. However, that appears to be having legal issues. I think it might be a result of this share issue. The media were reporting that the hearing was postponed due to legal issues. Other Rangers websites and podcasts are saying that the basically the contempt of court thing has now been thrown out. So I'm not too sure where it legally stands just now. That was my ruling on it anyway, that some of the Rangers fans were saying it was thrown out. I'm not too sure on that one, but certainly it can only be a good thing, can't it?
Yeah, certainly. And as you say, Derek, if it's going to raise that much, for repaying loans and things like that, fantastic.
Yep, absolutely. On the kind of board side of things, Rangers have appointed Hong Kong-based Danish investor Julian Walhard as director, and he's been classed as a person with significant control. He was the investor who purchased half of Mike Ashley's shares for £1 million last year. So I remember his name getting floated about before. So certainly it's an interesting development, that one there. So he's been appointed to the board.
Yep, okay.
Yep. Another interesting thing here is we're always waiting on it, and I've seen that on the bottom of the Rangers website that the Sports Direct logo had been taken off a good few weeks ago. However, the advertising at the front of the club deck has finally been taken off, which had Sports Direct as well in it. So, hopefully that's a sign that the shirts are going to be kind of coming out soon.
Well, we've been waiting a hell of a long time, Derek, and it's still going on, it's still rumbling on, and still nobody has a clue what's going on either. And we've heard nothing for the club as well, no even anything to say that they're hoping it's going to be getting resolved soon or anything like that. So we're all left guessing at the moment, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that's came out, obviously, with the up-and-coming Celtic game, that allocations for tickets have been given out, and obviously we know from what they've said that they've reduced theirs to around about 800-900 tickets, and it appears to be that they're charging Rangers fans £46 for restricted view tickets, which
shocking.
Is absolutely scandalous.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
A few Rangers fans on the back of that are no happy. They basically saying, well, this is what happens when we started this whole cutting ticket allocations. I hope you're happy. It's ruining, away fans. And if anybody's seen Twitter tonight, I've had to send back a reply to someone because it's really ripping my knitting, and they're not some fans are not understanding that it's for the greater good here and it's a bigger picture. So I've put back to this guy, it's a bigger issue than a few extra thousand fans getting to go to an away game. It's all about not being walked over anymore. It's about changing the narrative of us being pushovers. It's about basically saying fuck you to Celtic, to everyone else who wants to have a go at us. It's about the big picture rather than the small short time gain that a few extra thousand fans will get. And I think some fans are being a wee bit selfish in this one. It's maybe a strong word to use, but I think they need to look at the bigger picture in this respect. We've been pushed around for far too long. They're using the excuse, we weren't saying this when we were winning. Well, I think that it wasn't as prevalent though. I was always unhappy that Celtic got that full stand. They get an uninterrupted view from that stand. You don't get any restricted views in that stand at all. Where we get put in their stand is shocking. We get chucked away in the corner, they get the full stand. It's about the visual appeal of it as well. It's about not being pushed around again, and I think some fans need to open their mind to that. I don't know what your views are, Dave, on that.
Derek, the way I seen it was that we were doing this for the good of our fans. Our fans were desperate for tickets. We were selling out the ground a lot, especially for the big games like that. The fans were desperate to come in. And as you say, for the Celtic fans to get that whole stand when we had thousands of fans that would be desperate to get in, then fair enough. Should they have maybe have got half the stand, Derek? I don't know. Should they have got maybe a third of the stand, top and bottom? I don't know. But the club's made the decision. We'll certainly sell out, our section anyway, no problem, to our supporters who are our priority. what Celtic did was just that was them tit for tat. They can't sell their tickets there, giving their supporters the chance to buy 2 tickets each for the game because they can't sell it out, even though they said they can. They've been caught out. They've just basically came in and it's been tit for tat. For what they've done, but the way that I understood it was that we were doing it for the good of our own fans because we were wanting to try and sell as many tickets for that game to our supporters as we could. Sod them. It's there is a lot of fans out there, Derek, who go games home and away religiously, and now they'll not be able to go, to Parkhead. But as you say, it's made a lot of people sit up and take notice, and as you say, maybe show people that we're not going to get pushed around again. So fair play to them. I do feel sorry for a lot of people that are desperate to go to the games that will not get to go, but unfortunately it's one of these things, and we'll wait and see what happens. Hopefully us having a full crowd at Ibrox and them just having a wee set of fans will help us out big time when we play against them, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens, Derek.
Yep. A couple of non-Rangers related stories here. Kenny Miller has been sacked or left, whatever way you want to say it, from his position as Livingston player manager. The Livingston statement claims that they wanted him to stop playing and just focus on being the manager. He didn't want to do that. It seems a very, very strange situation. I think there's more to this story than that's been told, given the fact that they only hired him 7 weeks ago on the basis he was a player manager. Yeah,
and again, Derek, very strange that the whole story came out in the press before Livingston put out an official statement about it. Very strange. Aye, exactly. I think we all know what's happened there. There's a lot of people are still pro Kenny Miller that are Rangers fans out there, but again, I think this is another instance where we know where the leaks were coming from, how the media were getting so many stories about us, the fact that did happen. And going by the gossip, he's apparently or possibly have found a new club already in the shape of St Mirren, going by the way that their manager Alan Stubbs was talking today when he was questioned about it. So who knows, he could be signing for St Mirren very soon. A lot of people had him as a stick on to be signing for Hibs, but apparently St Mirren's the destination. So again, we'll have to wait and see. I actually thought it was going to be a good appointment for Livingston. I thought that he could maybe have got a few half decent players in there just because of who he was and the fact that he was still playing, Derek. But when you're in that position, you need somebody in your backroom staff who kind of shares your vision, and somebody who at any point could turn around and say, "No, Kenny, you're coming off." Somebody that could take that decision, and I don't think he had that either. So whether that's been a part of what's happened, I honestly don't know. But a total bizarre one, the fact that it's only he's only been in the job for a few weeks, and interesting stuff.
Yep. And there may be a documentary about Joey Barton's first season as manager in the pipeline coming up, as he's been mic'd up for all the games so far, and Fleetwood have been talking to TV networks to get it broadcast. So
okay, I know
could be quite amusing.
Fruity watching, yes.
Well, you've got to remember as well that Clint Hill will be involved in that, won't he?
That's right. Yeah, that's his assistant manager. Yep.
So.
Oh no! See when you pause like that, Derek, it's the weight is unbearable. On you go.
So this is stories from medical staff reveal ridiculous excuses patients gave for weird sex injuries.
It always gets down to that same subject, Derek.
Well, it has to. It's funny. I worked as an orderly in the local emergency room as a university student, and a man came in with a vacuum cleaner hose stuck on his penis.
Okay.
He arrived wearing a sweater, shoes and a blanket, and insisted that he had been instructed to clean his house while nude because he has a dust allergy. While vacuuming, the man had become, in his words, inexplicably fatigued and took an impromptu nap with the hoover still running. At this time, his penis must have flopped onto the vacuum hose. His arousal was, he insisted, involuntary.
Okay.
The hose was finally cut off with a surgical rotary saw.
So he fell asleep with the Hoover still switched on.
Yeah.
Okay.
An elderly man and wife entered the emergency department, the male in obvious distress, but he initially refused to elaborate in triage. He will not speak with his wife present. When alone with staff, he finally tells us he had a plastic Easter egg lodged deep inside his bum. When asked what happened, he simply replies, "I wanted to know what it felt like to be a chicken."
Okay. Oh dear, right.
A teenage boy came into the emergency department with his mother. I remember he was wearing a long coat and looked kind of glum. Turns out he'd ordered too much KFC and had a drumstick left, so what did he decide to do? That's right, he shoved it up his arse.
Finger looking good.
Oh no.
It probably tastes better, to be honest with you.
Oh man,
I'm not a great fan of KFC. No, okay.
A friend of mine is an A&E nurse. She had a bloke come in who had his scrotum ripped open. It turned out he liked to wade into the local pond, stark naked, and scatter bread around his genitalia for ducks to nibble on. One had got impatient and gone for the whole payday in one job and refused to let go. He had eventually ripped the skin, pulling it off.
Oh my god, right, okay.
I think that's where we'll end this year.
I think so. Oh dear.
So, on that note, just to say that obviously we do have our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/iReadyPod. Our Twitter page is at iReadyPod. We have an Instagram page. Our website is iReadyPodcast.wordpress.com. We have our YouTube page as well. So certainly check us out, and we'll be back again in the coming week or so.
Yes, and just as Derek says, make sure and check out all of our social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everything. Get the pod downloaded on a regular basis. And just want to wish the team good luck and keep up the fantastic performances that we're having, and here's hoping we get a fantastic result again on Thursday night.
Yep, absolutely. So thanks for listening and goodbye.
Yes, take care folks, we'll be back soon. Cheers.
And the stadium erupts in red, white and blue. You've never seen anything like it.
Let's go.
Brace yourself. Rangers are coming!
Right, we'll start again.
Right, when you go.
Wait there, I need to drink some Iron Brew.
Iron Brew for you, of it?